Just think for a second about the possibilities hidden within the things you collect. I am an otaku to my core. Otaku is a hardcore fan or hobbyist, often used for anime/manga collectors. On the outside, I don't look like the typical freak you'd see in Akihabara. I try to maintain a minimum level of decency. But my room? My room is a lair. A normal person would call it a devil's cave, and they'd be right. Of course, I have colleagues and normal friends, so I don't arrange things in a way that makes them scream gross the moment they walk in. You can't hide the specific scent of an otaku, so I keep the safe stuff on display. Saint Seiya figures, Chogokin robots, and Gundams. My guy friends say, "Oh, cool," and the girls say, "Wow, impressive," usually looking at them with a bit of pitying affection. Sometimes they give me side eyes, but none of them have any idea that behind those respectable things, I've hidden naked erotic figures. I keep them deep in the back of cabinets, in the storage closet, or up in the attic loft. I even went through the trouble of making special double-layered rotating acrylic displays. With a flick of the wrist, a normal shelf flips over, and voila, my entire Eero collection is on display. It took a lot of work. The secret is balancing them with the surrounding furniture so you can't see the backside. Anyway, once I'd amassed a pile of rare figures and statues, the expensive, fragile ones, my passion started to fade. That's when I laid eyes on Dolphy Dream dolls from the company Volks. They're big, about 60 centimeters tall. They were something between a perfect figure and a living doll. The quality was staggering. My senses were already numbed from buying pricey statues, so I bought one without a second thought. I named her Yuki. With dolls, everything is different. Unlike figures, you choose the clothes, you create the look, the situation. I acted like a little rich girl. I bought her dresses, pajamas, ordered a tiny bed, and a mountain of accessories. Eventually, I adopted other dolls I fell in love with at first sight, like Shino and other character dolls. In stores, they sell them as if they are real children. The feeling was right on the edge, as if I were participating in human trafficking. Because owners put so much soul into them, and the dolls are made so their expressions can be interpreted any way you want, you eventually start to feel like they are reflecting your emotions. If something good or bad happens, you feel like the doll is laughing or crying with you. At one point, I seriously started thinking, man, I wish you guys would just come to life. In horror stories, people are terrified of living dolls, but for a doll owner, fearing that is nonsense. I was thinking, come on, come alive through my feelings. Ghosts, I'm waiting for you. I was sinking deeper and deeper. About 2 years passed since I got hooked. That's when I noticed something strange. Sometimes I'd take photos of Yuki and the others to post online. In the photos, it started to look like Yuki was smiling. Only her. And it wasn't the level of self-suggestion I mentioned before. This looked like a bad Photoshop job. She was straight up grinning. I thought, ugh, how creepy. But when I looked at the doll itself, nothing. Just her normal face. But in the photo, a smirk. I blamed it on the lighting, deleted the photo, and retook it. I felt uneasy, but decided I was just losing my mind from lack of sleep. I cleared out my erotic folders and went to bed. About 2 weeks later, it happened. I came home from work exhausted, flipped on the light, and went to take the dolls out of storage. That's when I met their eyes. All of them at once. To make sure I didn't get caught by guests, I always store them facing away from the door. It was a small precaution, but there they were, all staring at me. Every single one. Dolls are shaped almost like humans, and if they had just fallen over, fine. No, for them to all turn around in a cramped cabinet, that's not normal. There were no earthquakes. A chill ran down my spine. I muttered, what the hell? But I forced myself past the fear and turned them back around. When it happened a second time, I got truly terrified. I I stopped going near Yuki and the others. Some new rare figures had just come out, so I shifted my interest to them. Mostly because I just didn't want to look toward the doll cabinet. A month went by. They just stayed locked away. I was starting to forget my fears when, one Sunday morning, I woke up and saw it. On the acrylic display, only the dolls were turned toward me. Even though the front side was supposed to be the Saint Seiya figures. Half asleep, I didn't realize what was happening at first. I just decided to turn the shelf back, but the mechanism was jammed. The joints had melted. The acrylic had liquefied and hardened. It was summer, but if the room had reached the melting point of acrylic, I'd have been boiled alive myself. Besides, I had the AC running on full blast. Strangely, I didn't feel fear in that moment. I just stood there stupidly wondering, how is this possible according to physics? Suppressing my anxiety, I checked if the figures were damaged and went back to sleep. I woke up in pitch black darkness. Panic seized me. I screamed, but my voice only echoed off the walls. The space was incredibly tight. It was so cramped and stifling that I began to gag. Hey, what is this? Someone! I hammered with my hands, but it was useless. I only bruised my palms. I remembered movies where people are buried alive in coffins. I'm not a strong guy. I couldn't kick the lid off. That thought terrified me. It felt like days passed. I was dying of thirst. My voice went hoarse. It wasn't hot or cold, and that neutral temperature was the most infuriating thing of all. Darkness, confinement. Let me out! Help! Just as I was ready to lose my mind completely, a light flashed. Hello, Hiro-kun. You're such a cutie today. Four glass eyes said to me, staring point blank. I lost consciousness. I woke up in my bed. What a nightmare, I thought. I turned my head and saw Yuki next to me. She was just sitting there. I screamed in horror and kicked her with everything I had. I kicked her so hard her left glass eye cracked and a huge dent was left on her beautiful face. Maybe I'm having a breakdown. I don't care. I couldn't look at it anymore. It was too scary to dismember her and throw her out, so I decided to hold a cremation. I burned her along with all her dresses and things. It's probably bad for the environment to burn plastic, but I didn't care. While she burned, I couldn't stop muttering Buddhist prayers. I thought that would be the end of it, but the world is harsh. Maybe I should have done a proper purification rite. The nightmares continued. Every morning, I noticed the remaining dolls had changed positions. They didn't hurt me physically, but my psyche was wearing thin. However, my otaku habits won out. I couldn't bring myself to throw them away or move out of the apartment. I didn't know how to find an exorcist, and at the temple they looked at me like an idiot and started lecturing me about mental health. I fell into a depression and stopped going to work. A colleague named Daiki, who was worried about me, called, Hey Hiro, where'd you go? The boss is about to come visit you himself. Daiki, the boss? No, not that. Just tell him I'm sick. Sick? Have you been to the hospital? I saw a therapist and a psychosomatic doctor. They say the cause is unclear. Psychosomatic? Wow, is it that serious? Yeah, sorry, I just don't have the energy for anything. Dude, that's depression. See another doctor. Listen, do you believe in the occult? What? Where is this coming from? Well, I think I'm cursed. Something like that. Right now. Right now? Right now. Lol, you're something else. It's not funny, I'm serious. Wait, are you for real? Not joking? Yeah, you don't know anyone? Exorcists? Fortune tellers? I don't know. What are you planning to do? I don't know. Either I'm crazy or this is magic. What kind of magic, lol? Fine, if it's that bad, I'll ask around. Daiki said he had some acquaintances who were really into that stuff. His voice cheered me up a bit. It felt better just to tell someone. Why hadn't I done it sooner? I guess I just didn't have the will. When I calmed down a bit, I noticed that Shino the doll was lying on the bed next to me. Just lying there, silent. Was she trying to say something? I didn't understand. Surprisingly, Daiki called back quickly. He found someone who knew the score. His name was Daisuke. He was from another department, and I didn't know him. We agreed to meet at a family restaurant. I didn't want to bring him to my lair. Daisuke looked like a typical, light-hearted guy. A charo. Chara are flamboyant or shallow guys who follow trends and flirt a lot. I doubted he could help. Hi, I'm Daisuke. Hello, I'm Hiro. So tell me, Hiro-san, they say you're cursed? I need the details to know who to send you to. I poured it all out. I said it might be my imagination, but things really move, and acrylic really melts. Are you sure you aren't doing it in your sleep? I don't have cameras, but doctors said I don't suffer from sleepwalking. I see. What exactly is happening? I took the plunge and told him about my hobby, about the dolls. I begged him not to tell our colleagues. I showed him photos of my room. I could see him recoil in disgust, Donbiki, but he promised to find a doll purification specialist. For the first time, I felt hope. The next day I went to work, but when I said hello to the boss, he acted awkward. All around me, colleagues started stifling laughter while looking at me. Daiki ran up, grabbed my arm, and dragged me into the back room. What happened? Did you talk to Daisuke yesterday? What did you guys talk about? He didn't say much to me, but, well, about the occult. Not just that. That jerk has been spreading rumors all morning and laughing his head off. What exactly is he saying? Well, that you're a creepy otaku, a Kimoota, living surrounded by ero figures and rubber women, that you have hallucinations and believe your dolls are alive. In that moment, everything went dark. Literally. It felt like falling into an abyss. What the hell? I don't know what happened between you two, but he's been on a roll since this morning. Did you tell him about ghosts? Yes, I was asking for help. And he twisted it all to make you look like a sick pervert. Everyone in the department knows now. I didn't ask him for this. Wait, so the part about the living dolls, is it true? I don't know. The shelves melt on their own. Is that a hallucination too? Look, I don't know. It seems like he didn't believe you. Stay here. I'll go deal with him. No, I'll go myself. Let them laugh. Why did I trust the first person I met? That conversation with Daisuke. I don't want to remember it. It was humiliating to the point of tears. He laughed right in my face. It turned out he was no expert. He just hung out with people who liked scary stories and was just a shallow guy. And I had bared my soul to him. After that, I felt nauseous over everything. I didn't want to go to work. I hated Daisuke. With every cell in my body. Shino, meanwhile, kept getting out of the cabinet and appearing in the room. But I didn't care about the dolls anymore. My hatred for Daisuke was stronger. If only you could kill with hatred. I'd seen that phrase in some manga. I never thought I'd feel it for real. Now, I didn't dream of dolls. I dreamed of Daisuke making a fool of me. I stopped answering the phone when the boss called. I broke as a social unit. Watching the dolls move even became somewhat amusing. I thought, if you guys are so alive, why don't you at least comfort me? I thought I saw Shino smile. 2 nights later, Daiki called. We chatted about nothing for 10 minutes, and then he dropped it. Listen, Daisuke, he died yesterday. What? How? Well, I decided to tell you since I introduced you. It's all very grim. Just say it. He crashed his car, lost control, hit a wall, died instantly. I see. But you see, they found hair on the steering wheel. Not human hair, but like a doll's. Long synthetic synthetic fibers, and they found a burnt doll's head in the wreckage. What? It sounds like an urban legend, I know. No, after your stories, the atmosphere in the office is very strange right now. Everyone is quiet. What do you mean, strange? No one says it out loud, but everyone is thinking about a curse. I thought of you immediately. They think I did it? The creepy otaku just went and cursed him? No, I don't mean that. It's just the timing, and everyone is uneasy. I just wanted to warn you. Fine, but it's probably just a coincidence. A stupid coincidence. Probably. So what are you going to do now? Quit. I didn't want to go back there anyway. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Forget it, it's my fault. Let's just drop the subject. A week later, I went in, wrote my resignation, and left for good. So here I am, living at home on my savings, a typical NEET. Not in education, employment, or training. Strangely, since then, the nightmares and weird phenomena have almost stopped. I don't want to work. Sometimes I think I should have confessed my love to them back then and asked them to take me to their world. But it didn't happen. I'm still an otaku. Now I don't have to pretend to be normal, so the figures and dolls, including Shino, are out in the open all over the room. I wonder what happened to Yuki? Or were they all just hallucinations? It's my own fault for getting so deep into this. Just know that these things are possible. But don't worry, this won't happen to most of you. I believe that. Though sometimes, when I look at Shino, it seems like her eyes move, or she gives a crooked smirk. It's probably just my eyesight failing me, and if not, well, that's actually kind of cool. Oh, by the way, that first nightmare, there were 4 glass eyes. Who was the second person? And which one of them actually killed Daisuke for me? That's the part that still bothers me a little.